mimi kukubali kumbebea mtoto, it means a lot. It means a lot.
And we had an agreement with Carol Sonnie. I told her I can lose everything mpaka zero, but the last breath itakuwa ni yako.
Well, Mulamwah has left very many people in shock after yesterday he publicly made a post apologizing to his ex-baby mama, that is Carrol Sonnie.
I don't know what's changed in this man. I don't know what's changed. I was going through hell.
In an attempt to rekindle the old love that they once shared. In fact, in a very shocking manner, Mulamwah publicly admitted that he broke up with Carrol Sonnie because of Ruth K.
Kanipiga. He hit me, alinipiga teke ya tumbo. Alinipiga teke ya tumbo. And then, in front of this, walikuwa wanaume wanne. It was him, his friend, Eric Binges, and the person wenye tulikuwa tumeenda huko kwake.
Using his own words, I left a good marriage because of you. Kumbe ni wewe ulikuwa ukuje unimalize. I loved Carrol Sonnie so much. We had a beautiful family, but wewe ni kama ulikuwa umetumwa ukatumaliza.
History ya husband snatcher ilitokea venye Carrol, who I respect so much, mother to Kayla, alisema Ruth ni rafiki yangu.
Mulamwah completely confirms that this is the exact reason why he broke up with Carrol Sonnie at the first place, despite the ongoing unravel between him and Ruth K.
Nilikubali. I accepted to lose everything. That's why mi huongea vile nataka. Kampuni nataka kunifuta, inifute. I don't care. I don't care. Shaifika hapo? I don't.
Well, of course, this started just a few months ago when Mulamwah publicly posted and celebrated Carrol Sonnie during Mother's Day, but absconded posting Ruth K, something which didn't sit very well with the people.
I wanted a future with him and I wanted us to grow together because tumedate almost for 4 years. So anajua weakness zangu, anajua my strengths, and the same way me pia. So I really wanted us to have a future.
In fact, rumors started surfacing on the internet that maybe Mulamwah was hinting about getting back with Carrol Sonnie, who however on her side remained very silent, never reacted, never spoke about anything, but her silence spoke louds and volumes of answers. Wodona Daku, judging from whatever unraveled yesterday, it looks like angry Mulamwah, who was bittered with the fact that Ruth K had done some things which we are not going to mention here publicly, had interfered with his beautiful marriage with Carrol Sonnie by then, and he even goes on and admits that he regrets dating Ruth K. Wadona Daku, all this drama unfolded about 2 years ago when Mulamwah publicly came out and accused Carrol Sonnie of cheating on him.
Huyo Kayla mnaona saizi, mnaona kibebobebo mapicha anapigwa, mnajua mama yake alikuwa amemtoa kweli.
He even went and took things a little bit further by coming out and alleging that the child that Carrol Sonnie was having was not even his. He in fact said that Carrol Sonnie was cheating on him with a married man. Carrol Sonnie, in her own defense, publicly came out with an outcry, explained everything in details, and that is when she mentioned that Mulamwah had even been physically abusing her.
Kanipiga. He hit me, alinipiga teke ya tumbo. Alinipiga teke ya tumbo.
A lot of things unraveled during that time. Mulamwah, who publicly went silent on that, even went on ahead and confiscated of all of Carrol Sonnie's social media accounts, taking her at all back, and Carrol Sonnie ultimately hitting rock bottom and eventually admitting to succumbing to depression due to the online pressure that had been mounted on her. Mulamwah, who publicly acknowledged that Carrol Sonnie was not faithful, said that Carrol Sonnie had multiple times cheated on him and was even questioning whether the child was his or not his, despite the fact that the child was born completely looking like Mulamwah's twin. Well, for over a long time, people have always known that Carrol Sonnie, after she broke out in a very emotional video at one point, where she said all the atrocities that Mulamwah had been doing to her silently and in private, claiming that Mulamwah had been physically abusing her, emotionally brutalizing her, and even mentally torturing her, came out in a very emotional video na akasema kwamba she had never at one point cheated on him and that those were just mere fabrications by Mulamwah so that he could paint himself the good person and Carol Sonnie the bad person. Of course, the aggressive nature of their breakup was quickly translated into whatever fans call a once bitten twice shy scene when yesterday Mulamwah decided to take it a notch higher on Ruth K after apparently Ruth K called him out for clout chasing with a photo that Ruth K had done with their son. So Wedauna Daku, following the public outcry yesterday and following whatever Mulamwah posted on his Instagram account, publicly hinting that Ruth K is the one who fumbled the relationship by listening to people who posed as their friends, but later on akakuja kugundua that these people were only jealous of Ruth K's progress and family, and they are the ones who advised her to back out of the relationship and ultimately wakampull from home using his own words na wakampeleka Ruaka. So very many people were angered with the fact that Mulamwah and Ruth K were going to tarnish their names publicly, and it looked like things were taking a really different turn because just a few hours later, Mulamwah publicly started distributing photos and intimate videos of Ruth K, not only to the fans, not only to the public, but also to her parents. Wedauna Daku, this came as a huge shocker, but one thing that raised a lot of concern is the fact that Mulamwah came out in a post and decided to publicly apologize to Carol Sonnie. After a very long message on where he said this: "You broke your own home with your two hands. I warned you of the so-called friends. Ona sasa, you never listened. You kept following advice ya You kept following advices hadi wakakuhamisha from your own home to Ruaka, na ni juu ya wivu ya your home, family and achievements. Nikakupea to deals kiasi na kajina hapa online, pesa ikaingia ukajaza kiburi, unani disrespect hadi na wazazi, unaishi na mimi hapa kwa hao yetu but unanunua vitu za nyumba yako. Siku ikafika ukanitafutia makosa, ukatoka na ukahama. How do you add 84 ladies to a WhatsApp group? Then unawaambia ati Devi is positive." Of course, the rant kept on going, and that is when ultimately Mulamwah kept on saying this: "My advice is avoid talking too much online and seeking public validation from people and strangers who don't even care. Focus on your life and goals. Huku utahurumiwa leo, kesho you are being cooked. Si ati juu nimekataa urudi unaleta chaos, na pia ukileta chaos David Oyando haondokeangi vita. Jina ni mbaya already, huwezi haribu tena. Wengine wamejaribu kuangusha huyu boy, but God ni nani? And for me, I'm not formal, I'm not soft either. Comments sidhani kuna vile sijawahi pata. It's gloves off. Baby mamas, please welcome huyu." And it looks like the rant was going on and on and on. And that is when Mulamwah ultimately dropped the bomb and said, "I had a beautiful marriage with Carol Sonnie until you came. Kumbe ulikuwa unakuja kunimaliza. Pole sana Carol Sonnie. Though it's water under the bridge now, hizo story unataka kutupea wewe later." So Mulamwah was publicly apologizing to Carol Sonnie, although he admits that that is past and it's now water under the bridge, and that he never intended to break up with her, and in fact reveals that Ruth K was the one who brought all this, and in fact she's the one who made Mulamwah and his lovely marriage with Carol Sonnie. So Wedauna Daku, Carol Sonnie is expected to react to this but has not spoken a thing, and it looks like she's totally minding her business. But you guys can give us your honest opinion, comment, review and feedback. Tell us what you think about this, and don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and share, because here is where you get all the latest gist, all the latest gossip, all the comments that you guys have been missing out. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell, because here is where we'll be giving you all the latest tea and getting to know what's trending today. Let's catch up on my next post.